Hello and welcome back to my channel. My name is Shareen. I'm an interior designer from New York City, coming to you today from sunny, chilly Florida. We are continuing our series on wellness and design. If you're new to my channel, my name is Shareen. You can find me on Instagram at @GreenShareen. If you are coming back and returning, thank you so much for coming back. I cannot tell you how excited I am when I see that people are watching and getting some value out of the videos that I'm producing. We are going to have a chat today. Unlike our conversation in the last video about paint, we are going to talk about what most people think about when they're looking at wellness, and that is plant life. But I'm going to do a little bit of a spin on it. Instead of just talking to you about plants, throughout this wellness series, I'm going to give you different tips about different types of plants that you can use in your space in order to bring more and more wellness into the area. But today we're going to focus on sustainable furniture and specifically wellness and West Elm. There are multiple brands that are out there right now that are focused on being sustainable. They're focused on being eco-friendly. And I think it's important to break down those buzzwords a little bit and talk about what exactly that means. When people say furniture is sustainable, does that mean that you're not using, a plane and emitting carbon emissions in order to bring it over? Does that mean that it's made out of all recyclable material? Does that mean that it's, responsible foresting? Like, what exactly does that mean? So sustainable furniture is furniture that's made to either be recycled and have some sort of closed looped system so that you either get multiple uses out of it. And when I say multiple, I'm talking about like multiple generations, or the materials can be recycled safely through the earth. So when people start to talk about sustainable furniture, I think it's important to kind of demystify what that is exactly and talk about how furniture that is sustainable is actually made. What makes it sustainable is that it has some sort of closed loop system. So it's been created in a way that it's using materials that are easily recyclable, and it's also, as opposed to it being something that's fairly disposable. Sometimes it's also FSC certified, which means that the type of wood that's been used has been declared to be done the right way. But there are a lot of brands that offer sustainable furniture. You can shop at Avocado, Burrow, Cherish, the Etsy Reclaimed Furniture, and West Elm. West Elm has made a huge commitment to healthy forestation, and for people like us that love our environment, they are committed to the environment as well. So they have a series of furniture that is fair trade certified, and they also have a series of furniture that is organic. You can find textiles in West Elm that are organic cottons and so forth as well. But did you know that they also sell plants? Yes, you can purchase live plants in addition to faux plants, which, to each their own, whether you're into faux or live. Some people have their thing about that based on how much maintenance they can do or can't do with different types of plants. But they have plants ranging from $19 when they sell their potting mix, all the way up to like a $250 arrangement of succulents in some sort of terrarium looking setup, which is really neat. They have nice tall ones, they have 10-inch, they have bird of paradise. You can find a variety of plants to go with those mid-century modern styles that their furniture offers. Those live plants can be available in some select stores, and it's also available to be ordered online. I think the best part about it is that West Elm has some awesome planters to complement the plants. The last thing you want to do is take a plant and not put it in a fabulous planter. And the reason for that is that can make all the difference in a few things. So with wellness, you could be putting a plant in your space that is an air purifying plant, for example. Maybe you have some sort of snake plant in your space, which is considered air purifying. Just take that with a grain of salt as well, because when you read that a plant is air purifying, usually the quantity of that plant that you would have to have in the space for it to actually constitute as air purifying is pretty substantial. But let's say you have a plant like that in the space, and maybe it's not the right scale. We've talked about scale in our other videos when we talked about the 1, 2, 3s of design. I'll link that playlist over here. But if that were the case, you may not want to put it in a specific space because it's so small. Well, some of the tricks of the trade with the planter are you can actually put moss beneath it. You can actually put dirt beneath it. You can put green styrofoam blocks beneath the plant inside of a planter in order to elevate the height of that plant and get you the scale that you need. I notice a lot of times when I'm shopping and I see that there are different plants on displays, some retailers will take their plant and put it up on a platform, and that's how they're displaying it. When they're displaying it at that height, you walk by thinking, oh, this plant's like 7 feet tall, but then you get it home and the plant's like 4 feet tall. So if you need a certain size in your space, getting a larger planter, putting some things underneath it in order to elevate it and make it bigger is one way to do that. Something else that people often look at when they're trying to figure out plants is how it works with their animals, and if they have pets in their home and they may not want things on the floor that maybe their children might be messing with. What I noticed in West Elm recently is a lot of their display had to do with plant life, and the plant life was up high, and I think that that's a great tip for us to take out of their book. Get your plant life up there, get it off the floor. Don't always think about everything being at floor level. Bring it up to where the light is. You'll notice, depending on the way that your space is laid out, you may have more sunlight in the early hours or more sunlight in the evening hours, and it reflects a certain way. If you were to have a hanging plant, for example, it would actually capture more hours of light than a plant that's lower to the ground, because it's only going to get light for that smaller window of the day. So I would suggest that you get your plants up off the floor, elevate them. You can get plant stands, you can use hanging plants. I've seen wall mounted plants is another option. The only thing you want to be careful of with the wall mounted ones is if it's real, you want to be mindful that you're not overwatering it, because you don't want to have any kind of damage to your wall by it leaking out of the side of the plant. Some of the plants that don't require as much water are anything that you would find in the desert. So if you have any kind of cacti, if you have jade plants or aloe plants, those are really great at being low maintenance, because they are usually in environments that don't require a ton of water. And I will give you one more bonus tip, and not necessarily that this is something that you could purchase from West Elm, but if you're one of those people that you're like, I'm not a plant person, I really cannot take care of plants, or I don't take care of plants very well, what you could consider is dried plants. Dried plants are fantastic for this. You can purchase dried plants. Some of them are colorful, and they would last on and on and on. You can also get some different types of eucalyptus, for example. You can do pussy willow. You can do a variety of different types of dried plants that don't require watering at all, but add a little bit of oomph to your aesthetic. So there you go. If you're looking for some sustainable furniture, check out West Elm, see what they have going on. If you're looking for some live plants, you can get some great ones from thesill.com. You can get some from Home Depot. You can get them from Lowe's, of course. You can get them from your neighborhood if there are people that are propagating plants. But if you're not a plant person and that's not working for you, you can try sustainable furniture. You are doing the best you can for the environment by doing that. You can also look into things like the dried plants that I suggested. Thank you for being here. You could have been anywhere on YouTube, but you chose to be with me, and I appreciate that. I am thankful for you, and I will see you next week, next Thursday to be exact, for another video here on Green Shareen Design. Bye.